Declaring and using class in a Java program. In this video lesson, we shall discuss about the classes and objects. In the previous video lessons, we discussed that what exactly is a class and what is an object in terms of object-oriented programming. So a class is a blueprint or prototype from which objects are created. A class is a user-defined data type that is used to implement an abstract object, giving us the capability to use object-oriented programming with Java. A class includes members. A member can be either data, known as a data member, or a method, known as a member method. So in the class, when we define our own classes, we shall include the data members as well as the member methods, which help us in the manipulation of the data. Data members can be of any type, including primitive data types of Java, such as int and double, or user-defined data types, including other classes. So member methods manipulate the data members, create and destroy class variables. Here we have taken an example. We wish to define our class. Name of the class here is cube. So public class cube, and three data members have been defined: length, breadth and height. And the data type of all these data members is primitive data type, that is int. And we have one member method, and name of the method is getVolume. Its return type is int and its access is public. So whenever we call this method, it shall return length into breadth into height. So how do we declare, how do we use an object of a class? The syntax for the same is, first of all, the class name, then space, then we have object name. Here, while defining the object name, we have to keep it in mind that the naming conventions associated with the identifiers are not violated. So class name, then object name, then we have object name equals to new class name. Either this way, we may write two lines to use an object of a class, or in the single line we may write class name then object name equals to new class name. For example, cube is the name of the class and we want to create an object of the class cube. Name of the object is cube obj. So we shall write cube then cube obj semicolon, then we write cube obj equals to new cube. Or in the single line we can declare cube obj equals to new cube. Cube is the name of the class and cube obj is the name of the object of the class cube. Then we have to learn about the class constructor. Actually, constructor is a special method that is used to initialize a newly created object and is called just after the memory is allocated for the object. It can be used to initialize the objects to required or default values at the time of object creation. It is not mandatory for the coder or the programmer to write a constructor for the class. Although most of the classes will have its constructor defined, but it is not mandatory. If no user defined constructor is provided for a class, means that if the coder or the programmer has not defined any constructor for a given class, then compiler initializes member variables to its default values. Numeric data types are set to 0, character data types are set to null character, and the reference variables are set to null. So class constructor is a special method of a class which has the same name as that of class and which is invoked automatically whenever class is instantiated. Means an object of a class is created and has been allocated some memory. The sole purpose of using the class constructor is to assign some initial values to the different data members of the given class for that particular object. Here we have taken an example. One more example is there. Name of the class we are defining is demo. Here we have two data members, value 1 and value 2. So name of the class is demo. We have a method demo, and with the help of this demo method what we are doing is we are assigning some initial values to the data members of the class. So demo here, this is the class constructor method, and we have one more method of the class, that is display. With the help of this display method, the values of the data members is being given to the console, that is output device. Okay, now if we have to declare an object of this class demo, so this is the syntax for that. Demo d1 is the object of the class which is being created, equals to new demo. This is the syntax, one line syntax to create an object of the class. And with the help of this d1 object, what we are doing is we are calling the member method of the class. Member method is display, so we have defined this display method within the body of the class. One more example, we have a user defined class, that is test constructor. Here we have two data members x and y of data type primitive. Then we have test constructor, means it's a method, it's a constructor method. With the help of this method we are assigning some initial values to x and y, means data members of the class. Then we have one more method, name of the method is area, and this method is supposed to return an integer value. So area AR, in the variable AR, the value of x into y is calculated and that value is returned. Okay, when we create an object of this class test constructor, that is done in this particular line. We have written test constructor A equals to new test constructor, means an object A of the class test constructor is being created here and being assigned some memory. And in the system.out.println, what we are doing is we are calling area method of the class test constructor with the object A. So the syntax would be a.area. A is an object of the class test constructor, dot operator, and area is the member method of the class test constructor, and this method would return a value as we have given the data type here, return type here int, so it would return an integer value and that will be given to the system.out.println method.